Sup flappers, welcome back to another video, and I hope you guys are either celebrating a great Lunar New Year or had already celebrated one the previous day. I'm coming to you guys with this video because now with days left for the Genshin 2.5 live stream, it's time for us to kind of rattle our brains a little bit to think about how we would like to prepare for the future patches, and specifically for myself, how I'm going to be preparing for Yae Miko. And you guys maybe can take away a bit of this and add to your preparations on how you would like to play this character. Now, I'm telling you guys, this is a very anticipated character because Electro has always been my favorite elemental typing. As much as a lot of Electro characters hasn't specifically resonated with my playstyle, Keqing always holds a dear place in my heart. And also going forward, I would want to experiment with more Electro teams. If you guys watched my most recent video talking about why I stopped playing Hu Tao, it's because I want to experiment with more teams, and just because Electro has a weaker reactions doesn't mean they aren't able to be utilized. But that being said, there are other parts of Electro characters kits that can be tapped into to get more power out of these units. Then again, right, why are we playing to Electro's weakness when they have plenty of strength? So why not play towards their strength? I'm telling you guys, I'm crazy prepped for Yae Miko, and I just can't wait to tell you guys all about it. In fact, I am just as prepped as I am for the Lunar New Year through Baiyi's biggest new promotion. Currently, Baiyi is doing a Chinese New Year festival promotion where per person you can get total discounts of over 100,000 yen, which to translate that to USD, it's $868. What, you don't know what Baiyi is? Alright, Baiyi is one of Japan's leading proxy shopping services. With Baiyi, you're able to buy anything from Japan and have it shipped anywhere worldwide. During current times, it may be difficult to travel and visit, but with Baiyi, you can get your hands on anything Japan has to offer with the click of a few buttons. With Baiyi, you're able to access Japan's best e-commerce options ranging from Mercari to Rakuten, Rakuma, ZoZoTown, Yahoo Japan, and even Yahoo Japan auctions. Currently, I have a link in the description that will give up 2,000 yen, which is roughly $20 for first time purchase coupons to any viewer who signs up for a new Baiyi user account through it. And to combine it with Baiyi's New Year Festival promotion, you are in for a treat, my friend. Its simple to use interface allows you to browse anything with ease, from Genshin merchandises to authentic Japanese rice cookers. Don't ask me why I'm searching for rice cookers, but thank you to Baiyi for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. So how am I preparing for Yae Miko? First and foremost, we have to kind of narrow in on her role, right? With somebody like me, I don't really look at leaks, but anybody with a brain at this point can essentially guess what Yae Miko should be. Now there are two possibilities. She's either a main DPS or she's a support DPS. Now don't even talk to me about Yae being an Electro support or even worse, an Electro healer, because let's see if Mihoyo even has the balls to push Yae towards this direction and risk facing the backlash from the community. Yeah, that's right, I didn't think so too. So let's just go forward with the assumption that Yae is either a main DPS or a support DPS. So for both, I think she can deal damage in one of two ways. One is she's going to hit hard but infrequently, or two, she's going to hit soft but frequently. So these are two different distinct variations, and depending on which one she is, I can build her into different teams. For example, if she hits hard but infrequently, a buffer such as Bennett could be used to kind of scale up that damage even more, along with maybe even Sarah. Unfortunately, my Sarah sitting at C5, so I'm really needing that last constellation to really build a hyper carry Yae if she is hitting hard but infrequently. All right, so if she's hitting soft but frequently, there are possible teams to build her into, like another taser team, so such as running her with Kokomi and someone even like Sucrose, Venti, Kazuha, right? Just kind of apply that wide hydro with Anemo, spread it out even more, swirl it, and then go through with the taser comp, just But personally, I don't know. Alright, both of these sound incredibly fun to play, but having Electro as the main taser person is a little weird, right? Usually you want to have the Hydro one with Electro applying Electro on a couple enemies and then just kind of have the Hydro spread it out. But I'm willing to entertain the idea, but I'm really hoping and leaning more towards Yae Miko hitting hard but infrequent. Alright, so personally, I think miHoYo is going to continue tunneling down though the mono team structure. So for myself, I'll be running Yae with Raiden Shogun and Saro. Now, the reason I say this is because look at starting from Ito, miHoYo has been really doubling down on the whole mono team structure, right? And now with Cryo, and it's not surprising that we're moving into Electro, and miHoYo is going to find Electro more popularity through having a dedicated, strong mono team for them. And don't worry, Pyro is coming, and arguably Anemo will as well. So along with eventually Hydro with the release of a certain unit down the line. So I think miHoYo is going to double down and go hard on the Electro mono team. That's why I truly think Yae likely is going to be somebody who hits hard but infrequently and built into a mono team paired with Raiden Shogun, who hits hard but also very frequently as long as you can get her to C2, C3. Now, the constellations can bypass all these issues. Looking at it like this, my particular team will likely look like a triple Electro team with a Bennett at the healer and buffer position. So a lot of people might think like, well, Walrus, that's all good and dandy and everything, but then don't you think this particular team is taking up a little too many resources, especially for people who don't have as many characters? Okay, so if this mono Electro team to most people feels too excessive and that their highly invested Raiden Shogun is now being tied to a mono team, then we can do this. You can turn this essentially into a hyper Yae team by removing Raiden Shogun, actually, because right now currently Raiden Shogun is going to be sharing field time with Yae Miko, assuming she has some sort of downtime. So essentially, if we remove Raiden from this, then we can fill in the remaining spot, the 4th position, with an Anemo character using the 4-piece Verdescence to shred Electro resistance and add more damage into the team, essentially hypercharging Yae's efficiency in this particular team. So these are some options and food for thought, and I really hope I don't have to go to the Taser comp. Like, as exciting as it is, I think there are just better options with Kokomi probably as the main front runner right now for Taser comp carries, essentially. And another thing people probably have noticed is that I haven't really leaned too hard into a reactional team. So like, why not do Xiangling Bennett with Yae Miko, right? Like, essentially that's a Raiden hyper carry team, but switch out Raiden for Yae Miko. The main reason is, well, Raiden was a melee champion, right? She could get in the faces of enemies with her burst skill, and with Xiangling's burst circling around her, it just worked really well. But Yae is going to be more of a ranged unit, so I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to get close and personal with the enemies, and if I really want to do that with someone like Yae Miko, maybe her strength would be leaning more to ranged nuking, or a similar playstyle to Yanfei, I don't know, like Electro attacks from range, right? So do you really want to build a team that forces Yae to be playing from the mid to close range? I don't know. I don't think so. While we're not losing out on too much from overload, like I said from the very beginning of this video, why are we going to tunnel into Electro's weaknesses when we can just dive into their strength, which is high innate scaling? All Electro characters have always been released with high base stats to compensate, in fact, for the lack of a powerful reaction. So why don't we just play towards this strength more? If miHoYo's not going to fix the problem, maybe it wasn't a problem to begin with. Maybe miHoYo just wanted Electro to be played as more of a hyper carry style, and looking at how Sara is designed, it certainly points to that direction. So that's the philosophy I'm going to be taking into my Yae Miko. But what do you guys think? What are you guys going to do with your Yae Mikos? How are you going to pair and structure her teams? I'm actually really curious. Make sure to comment down below. If you watched all the way to the end, make sure to include the word queen in your comments. Look forward to reading them, and until next time, urge you all to stay safe and peace.